I still recall how the suitcase struck my chest, light enough to insult me, heavy enough to destroy a marriage. The door remained wide open behind her, pouring warm golden light onto the snow. She stood in the doorway like a judge pronouncing a verdict, but it was her sister who stepped over the line. She leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, lips twisted. "Let's see how you survive now," she said, loud enough for the neighbors to catch. My wife turned away. Her sister looked pleased. And I just stood there breathing in a cold that scraped the inside of my lungs. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. The silence I offered them was the first warning they never understood. Snow drifted in slow, lazy circles, soft but relentless. Christmas lights blinked from every house on the street. Colors I once found reassuring. Tonight they seemed mocking, like eyes watching a man lose everything. Families laughed behind thick walls. Cars passed with music pounding through their windows. Somewhere children screamed with joy. And there I was, standing on the sidewalk with a suitcase, two women staring at me like I was a stray dog they'd finally kicked out. My wife's face was tense, guilt blended with relief. Her sister's was pure satisfaction. A chill ran down my spine that had nothing to do with the temperature. It wasn't the eviction that shattered me. It was the smirk. The way her sister nudged my wife's elbow and whispered, "He'll come crawling back." They always do. They craved humiliation. They wanted to watch me collapse. I gave them nothing. I picked up the suitcase, nodded once, slow, deliberate, and walked away. Behind me, the door slammed. That sound destroyed whatever love had remained. I found a bench under a street lamp down the block. The metal was freezing and cut straight through my clothes. I sat anyway. My breath fogged in front of me. My hands stung from the cold. My heart felt strangely calm, not broken, not bleeding, just recalibrating. They thought they'd destroyed me. But something inside me clicked into place. A new stillness, a new clarity. I wasn't thinking about saving the marriage. I wasn't even thinking about warmth. I was thinking about control. What they took, what they relied on, what they never imagined I'd reclaim. Every advantage they believed was theirs. I would dismantle it piece by piece. I had been sitting for almost an hour when I noticed her. A woman, thin, barefoot, skin turning purple from the cold, walking unsteadily down the street. Her clothes were drenched, her lips trembled, her eyes unfocused. I didn't think, I didn't question, I just stood and stepped toward her. "Sit," I said, guiding her to the bench. She didn't resist. She didn't speak. I untied my boots and slid them onto her frozen feet. My socks, too. Then I wrapped my scarf around her shoulders. The snow bit my bare ankles like knives, but she looked at me, truly looked at me, and the fear in her eyes softened. For the first time that night, warmth returned to my chest. Kindness costs nothing, but it transforms everything. I didn't know how quickly it would come back to me. An hour later, the street went dark all at once. Engines hummed in the distance, low, synchronized, growing louder. Then they appeared. 19 black BMWs turning the corner in a formation too precise to be random. They rolled to a stop around the bench, encircling me in absolute silence. Doors opened in unison. Men stepped out, tall, dressed in black, faces unreadable. Not one of them looked at me with hostility. They looked at me with respect. The barefoot woman stood up slowly. Her posture changed. Her voice shifted, calm, controlled, unmistakably authoritative. She looked straight at me and said just one sentence. "My father would like to thank you personally." That was the moment everything turned. Inside one of the cars, warmth enveloped me instantly. They gave me blankets, dry socks, a seat that absorbed the cold entirely. 3 calls later, my life, my real life, began. The woman was the daughter of a powerful businessman, a man whose influence stretched far beyond what my wife or her sister could ever comprehend. He rewarded loyalty decisively. And when he learned why I was out there, that I'd been thrown out on Christmas Eve, his voice changed. "Let me help you," he said. Not a question, a statement. I didn't ask for revenge. I just accepted opportunities. Account audits, property evaluations, legal reviews, business connections I hadn't known existed until the right hands opened the right doors. I stayed silent, and in my silence, the strings began to tighten. First, the house. Turns out it was in my name alone. They had forgotten that. The eviction notice the court delivered to them must have tasted bitter. Then the car, leased under my account, cancelled. Then the joint accounts frozen. Every unnecessary purchase flagged. Every hidden transaction revealed. My wife panicked first. Her sister followed soon after. Their messages shifted from mocking to confused to desperate. I answered none. The businessmen's lawyers moved quicker than emotion ever could. Within 2 weeks, their comfort unraveled. Within 4, their arrogance dissolved. By the second month, they understood I hadn't just walked away. I had taken everything I provided with me. They found me eventually at a cafe, calmly drinking coffee, boots on my feet again. My wife approached with red eyes. Her sister hovered behind her, hollow, the smirk long dead. "We didn't think you'd do this," my wife whispered. I set the cup down. "You threw me out," I said. "All I did was walk." Her sister stepped forward. "You ruined us." I shook my head. "No," I said. "You did that the moment you thought I wouldn't survive without you." Silence swallowed the table. My wife's tears fell. Her sister looked away. I stood up, buttoned my coat, and delivered the final truth. Respect is the only thing I ever asked for, and the price of disrespect is everything. Then I walked out, leaving them in the cold. For the first time, I felt warm.